The woman's scream cuts through the Chicago afternoon like a knife through silk. Please don't let them take my baby. Dante Castellano doesn't break stride. He's seen desperate people before, heard every plea imaginable echo through these streets. 43 years of life, 26 spent building an empire that controls half of Chicago's underground operations, has taught him that other people's problems are exactly that, other people's problems. But something in her voice makes him pause. She's on her knees in the parking lot of Sacred Heart Hospital, arms wrapped around a pink bundle, face tilted up toward two men in cheap suits who tower over her like vultures circling prey. Rain soaks through her thin jacket, plastering dark hair against pale skin. She can't be older than 25, maybe younger, with the kind of exhausted beauty that comes from sleepless nights and constant fear. "Ma'am, we have a court order," one of the suits says, his voice bored mechanical. "You need to surrender the child immediately. She's 3 weeks old." The woman's voice cracks. 3 weeks? Please, just give me more time. I can fix this. I can get a better apartment, find steady work. I just need. The state has determined you're an unfit mother. The child will be placed in protective custody, pending further evaluation. The baby starts crying, a thin wail that seems too fragile for the brutality of the moment. The woman clutches the bundle tighter, and Dante sees her hands shaking so violently she can barely hold on. He should keep walking. His car is 15 feet away. His driver, Marco, already has the door open, waiting to transport him to a meeting that will finalize a deal worth $7 million. Politicians are waiting. Money is waiting. Power is waiting. But Dante's feet won't move. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. The second suit reaches down, grabbing the woman's arm. "Don't make this harder than it needs to be." "No." She jerks away, stumbling backward on the wet pavement. "You can't just take her. She's mine. I'm her mother. A mother with no stable housing, no employment, and a history of... That history isn't mine." Desperation makes her voice sharp, almost feral. "Those charges were dropped. My ex-boyfriend planted those drugs in my apartment. The police know that now. The case was dismissed. The child protection system operates independently of criminal proceedings. Your living situation alone is sufficient grounds for removal." Dante watches the woman's face crumble. He's seen that expression before, the exact moment when someone realizes the system isn't designed to help them, it's designed to process them. To categorize, file away, and forget. The baby's crying intensifies. The woman rocks her instinctively, even while arguing, even while her world collapses around her. That detail lodges in Dante's chest like a shard of glass, the automatic comfort, the maternal instinct that persists even through trauma. "How much?" Dante's voice cuts through the rain and chaos. All three people turn to look at him. The suits size him up immediately. Expensive Italian shoes, tailored charcoal suit that costs more than they make in a month, the kind of presence that doesn't ask for attention, it commands it. "Excuse me," the first suit says. Dante steps closer, and something in his movement makes both men unconsciously step back. He's not particularly tall, 5'11", but he carries himself like someone who's never had to raise his voice to make people obey. "I asked how much." He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a leather wallet. "What's the price to make this problem disappear?" The woman stares up at him with eyes so wide they look almost black in the gray afternoon light. She's trying to understand what's happening, why this stranger in a $3,000 suit is involving himself in her nightmare. "Sir, this is a matter of child welfare," the second suit says, trying to maintain authority. "It's not about money." Dante's laugh is cold, devoid of humor. Everything is about money. The question is whether you're smart enough to recognize an opportunity when it presents itself. He pulls out a business card, hands it to the first suit. The man glances at it, and Dante watches recognition dawn. The name Castellano carries weight in Chicago, the kind of weight that makes grown men reconsider their choices. The mother clearly loves her child. Dante continues, his tone conversational but edged with something darker. She's facing temporary financial difficulties, nothing that can't be resolved with proper support. I'm offering to provide that support. "Are you related to the mother?" the suit asks, his voice noticeably less confident. "Does it matter?" The two men exchange glances, having a conversation without words. Dante can see the calculation happening behind their eyes. How much trouble this could cause versus how much trouble refusing him could cause. The answer is obvious to anyone with functioning survival instincts. We'd need documentation. The first suit says finally. Proof of stable housing, employment verification, character references. You'll have everything by tomorrow morning. Dante pulls out his phone, types something quickly. My attorney will contact your office within the hour. In the meantime, I suggest you leave this family alone. The word, family, hangs in the air like a challenge. The suits both know it's not true, but they also know that truth is negotiable when you're dealing with men like Dante Castellano. This is highly irregular, the second suit protests weakly. Dante steps closer, close enough that his next words are for their ears only. Irregular would be making me repeat myself. Irregular would be forcing me to contact your supervisor and explain why two caseworkers are harassing a mother in a hospital parking lot without proper cause. Irregular would be the kind of attention that ruins careers. The threat is delivered in the same pleasant tone someone might use to discuss the weather. That makes it infinitely more effective. The suits retreat, muttering about procedural requirements and follow-up visits, but they're already defeated. They climb into their government sedan and drive away, leaving the woman still kneeling in the rain, staring at Dante like he's materialized from another dimension. For a long moment, neither speaks. The baby has quieted, as if sensing the immediate danger has passed. Rain continues falling, soaking them both, but neither moves. Why? The woman finally finds her voice. Why would you do that? Dante doesn't have a good answer. He's asking himself the same question. In his world, weakness is death. Sentiment is liability. Getting involved in strangers' problems is the kind of mistake that gets you killed or worse, used. But something about the way she held that baby, the way she begged not for herself but for her child, the way she looked at those bureaucrats. With more courage than half the men who work for him, something about all of that reached past the walls he's spent decades building. What's your name? He asks instead of answering. Maya. She swallows hard. Maya Santos. And the baby? Luna. Maya's voice softens when she says the name, gentle despite everything. Her name is Luna. Dante crouches down so they're at eye level. This close, he can see that Maya is younger than he first thought, maybe 23 at most. Dark circles shadow her eyes, evidence of sleepless nights and constant stress. But there's something else there too. Intelligence, determination, the kind of fierce protectiveness that can't be faked. Those men will be back, Maya. Maybe not today, but soon. The system doesn't give up easily once it targets someone. I know. Tears mix with rain on her face. I know, but I don't have anywhere else to go. My family disowned me when I got pregnant. My ex destroyed my credit, got me evicted from 3 apartments, planted drugs to get me arrested. Everything I owned was in that last apartment, and the landlord threw it all away when I couldn't make rent. Each sentence lands like a physical blow. Dante recognizes a pattern, systematic destruction, carefully orchestrated to leave someone with nothing. It's a tactic he's used himself in business, isolating targets until they have no choice but to surrender. The realization that he's employed the same strategies as whoever hurt this woman makes something twist in his stomach. The hospital gave me 3 days to recover after Luna was born, Maya continues, words tumbling out like she's afraid he'll disappear if she doesn't explain fast enough. Then they discharged me with nowhere to go. I've been staying in a shelter, but they won't take babies. So I've been sleeping in my car, except my car broke down last week and I couldn't afford to fix it. I've been trying to find work, but nobody wants to hire someone with a newborn and no childcare and... Stop. Dante's voice is gentle but firm. You don't need to convince me. Maya blinks, confused. Then what do you need? I need you to trust me for the next 24 hours. Can you do that? She studies his face, searching for deception, manipulation, the hidden price that always comes with help from strangers. Dante lets her look, doesn't try to hide what he is. Better she knows now than discovers later that her savior is more dangerous than the people she's running from. I don't even know who you are, Maya says quietly. My name is Dante Castellano. I own several businesses in Chicago. I have resources that can solve your immediate problems. He pauses, considering how much truth to share. I also have a reputation that makes people nervous. Those men left because they recognized my name and decided their jobs weren't worth the trouble I could cause them. What kind of trouble? The legal kind, mostly, but also the kind that comes from having friends in positions of influence. It's the most honest evasion he's ever given. Maya seems to understand what he's not saying, intelligence flashing in her exhausted eyes. Are you a bad person? She asks bluntly. The question catches Dante off guard. People don't usually ask him directly. They assume, they gossip, they speculate, but nobody's ever just asked. Probably, he admits. By most standards, yes. I've done things that would horrify you. I'll likely do more before I'm done. But right now, in this moment, I'm offering to help you keep your daughter. That's all that matters. Maya looks down at Luna, who's fallen asleep against her chest, tiny face peaceful despite the chaos of the past hour. When she looks back up at Dante, something has shifted in her expression. Not trust exactly, but a willingness to take the kind of desperate gamble people make when they have nothing left to lose. Okay, she whispers. 24 hours. Dante stands, extends his hand. Maya takes it, and he pulls her to her feet with careful strength. She sways slightly, exhaustion and relief making her unsteady. He catches her elbow, steadying her. Marco, Dante calls to his driver. Bring the car. The black Mercedes pulls up within seconds. Marco steps out, opening the rear door without comment. He's worked for Dante long enough to know that questions are pointless and trust is everything. Maya hesitates at the open door, clutching Luna against her chest. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. Somewhere warm. Somewhere you can rest without worrying that someone will take your daughter while you sleep. The promise seems to break something inside her. Maya's face crumples, and she makes a sound that's half sob, half laugh. I don't remember the last time I slept without worrying. Then it's past time that changed. Maya climbs into the car, moving carefully to avoid waking Luna. Dante slides in beside her, and Marco closes the door with a soft click that sounds like a door closing on one life and opening onto another. As the Mercedes pulls away from Sacred Heart Hospital, Maya stares out the window at the city scrolling past. She stopped crying, but tension still lines every muscle in her body. Why did you really help me? She asks again, voice barely audible over the rain drumming against the roof. Dante considers the question seriously. He could give her comfortable lies, tell her about maternal instinct or moral obligation or any number of socially acceptable answers. But something about the way she's looking at him, exhausted but honest, desperate but not defeated, makes him want to give her truth instead. I've spent my entire adult life believing that everyone is selfish, he says slowly. That people only do what benefits them, that kindness is just another transaction. I've built everything on that principle. And watching you fight for your daughter with nothing but love and desperation made me question whether I've been wrong about everything. Maya turns to look at him directly. You don't seem like the kind of man who questions himself. I'm not. That's what makes this so unsettling. A ghost of a smile touches Maya's lips. So you saved us because we made you uncomfortable? Something like that. They ride in silence for several minutes. Dante makes calls, his voice low and authoritative as he speaks to people Maya can't identify. She catches fragments. The Fairmont. Indefinite stay. Everything she needs. But mostly she just holds Luna and tries to process the past hour. The baby stirs, making small sounds that indicate she'll be hungry soon. Maya shifts uncomfortably, acutely aware that she's soaking wet, probably smells like rain and fear, and is about to nurse her daughter in front of a complete stranger in the back of a luxury car. Dante notices her discomfort immediately. There's privacy glass, he says, gesturing to a button on the armrest. Marco can't see into the back. Thank you, Maya murmurs, surprised by the consideration. She feeds Luna, while Dante stares out his own window, deliberately giving her space. The small courtesy means more than he probably realizes. In the past 3 weeks, Maya has nursed her daughter in gas station bathrooms, behind dumpsters, in the corner of the shelter's common room with dozens of eyes watching. Privacy has become a luxury she can't afford. But here, in this quiet car with this dangerous stranger, she has it. Luna finishes eating and falls back asleep almost immediately. Maya adjusts her jacket, trying to maintain some dignity despite being drenched and disheveled. How old are you? Dante asks suddenly. 24. Why? You seemed younger. He turns to face her. Tell me about Luna's father. Maya's expression hardens. What do you want to know? Everything. If I'm going to help you, I need to understand what I'm protecting you from. The way he says protecting sends a shiver through Maya that has nothing to do with her wet clothes. There's possession in the word, ownership, like she's become his responsibility whether she agreed to it or not. His name is Derek Santos. We were together for 2 years. Maya's voice goes flat, reciting facts to avoid feeling them. I thought he loved me, thought we were building a life together. Then I got pregnant, and everything changed. Changed how? He wanted me to get rid of it. When I refused, he turned into someone I didn't recognize. Or maybe he'd always been that person, and I just hadn't seen it clearly. She pauses, swallowing hard. He started controlling everything. My money, my friends, where I could go. If I didn't obey, he'd punish me. Dante's jaw tightens, but he doesn't interrupt. I tried to leave when I was 6 months pregnant. Packed a bag, waited until he went to work, called my sister to pick me up. Maya's laugh is bitter. He'd been tracking my phone. Showed up before she arrived. Destroyed everything I'd packed. Told me if I tried to leave again, he'd make sure I lost the baby. Did you call the police? Twice. Both times he convinced them I was hysterical, hormonal, making things up. The third time I tried, he planted cocaine in my purse and called them himself. Her voice cracks. I spent a night in jail while 8 months pregnant. The charges were eventually dropped when my public defender proved the drugs weren't mine, but by then everyone looked at me differently. Dante processes this information with the cold calculation of someone accustomed to violence and manipulation. Where is he now? I don't know. After Luna was born, I waited until he left for work and I ran. Took nothing but the hospital bag and Luna. Been moving ever since, trying to stay ahead of him. Maya looks down at her sleeping daughter. He doesn't want her. He just can't stand that I chose her over him. So the custody threat was him. I'm sure of it. He probably called child services, told them I was unstable, gave them just enough truth mixed with lies to make them investigate. Her hands tighten around Luna. And because I have no permanent address, no job, no support system, they believed him. The pieces click into place in Dante's mind. This isn't just bureaucratic incompetence. This is a targeted campaign designed to strip Maya of everything until she has no choice but to return to her abuser or lose her child completely. It's effective. It's cruel. And it makes Dante's blood run cold with a fury he hasn't felt in years. Does Derek know you were at Sacred Heart today? He asks, his voice carefully neutral despite the rage building in his chest. Maya shakes her head. I don't think so. I went there because Luna had a fever last night. The emergency room is the only place I could get her seen without insurance. He'll find out. Men like that always do. I know. Fear flashes across Maya's face, quick and sharp. But what else could I do? She needed help. The Mercedes pulls up to the Fairmont Hotel's covered entrance. Uniformed attendants immediately approach, their expressions professionally neutral despite Maya's bedraggled appearance. Dante's presence is armor, making her invisible problems someone else's concern. Maya stares up at the gleaming building. I can't go in there. You can and you will. Dante, look at me. I'm soaking wet. I probably smell. I have nothing. No luggage, no money, nothing but the clothes on my back and a baby. He turns to face her fully, and the intensity in his dark eyes makes her breath catch. Maya, I own this hotel. You could walk in wearing rags and nobody would dare say a word. Do you understand? She doesn't. Not really, but she nods anyway. Marco opens the door, and Dante steps out first, then extends his hand to help Maya. She takes it, clutching Luna with her other arm, and allows herself to be drawn into a world that exists on a completely different plane from the one she's been surviving in. The lobby is all marble and gold, crystal chandeliers casting soft light over furniture that probably costs more than Maya has earned in her entire life. Heads turn as they enter, but one look from Dante and everyone's attention slides away, trained to see only what's safe to notice. At the front desk, a polished woman in her 40s greets them. Mr. Castellano, Your suite is prepared. Top floor as always. Thank you, Gabriella. We'll also need a complete wardrobe delivered within the hour. Women's size. He glances at Maya questioningly. Small, Maya whispers, heat flooding her cheeks. Size small, and infant clothing for a newborn girl. Also toiletries, anything a mother with a baby would need. Spare no expense. Gabriella's professional mask doesn't slip, but Maya sees surprise flicker in her eyes. Of course, sir. I'll coordinate everything personally. The elevator ride to the penthouse feels endless. Maya watches the numbers climb. 10, 20, 30 floors, each one taking her further from the life she knows and into something she can't begin to comprehend. When the doors open directly into the suite, Maya stops breathing. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook Chicago's skyline, the city spread out like a kingdom below. The living space is larger than any apartment she's ever lived in, decorated in understated luxury that whispers money rather than shouting it. A full kitchen, multiple bedrooms, furniture that looks like it belongs in a design magazine. Luna chooses that moment to wake up and start crying, her thin wail cutting through Maya's paralysis. The master bedroom is through there, Dante says, gesturing to a hallway. There's a bathroom with a tub if you want to clean up. I'll have Marco bring supplies for the baby. Maya just stands there, overwhelmed, unable to process the sudden shift from homeless to penthouse in the span of an hour. Maya, Dante's voice is gentle. You're safe here. I promise you, nothing will happen to you or Luna tonight. You can sleep without fear. Do you understand? She nods, tears streaming down her face, unable to speak around the lump in her throat. Go take care of your daughter. I'll handle everything else. Maya walks to the bedroom on autopilot, her body moving while her mind struggles to catch up. The room is enormous, dominated by a bed that could sleep 4 people comfortably. The bathroom attached to it has heated marble floors and a tub deep enough to swim in. She runs warm water, adding bath products that smell like lavender and cost more than she wants to think about. Then she carefully undresses Luna, testing the water temperature obsessively before lowering her daughter into the gentle warmth. Luna stops crying immediately, her tiny body relaxing as Maya supports her head and carefully washes away the hospital smell and parking lot grime. The baby looks up at her with dark eyes that don't yet understand the world but trust Maya completely to navigate it for her. We're okay, Maya whispers, more to convince herself than Luna. We're going to be okay. She doesn't know if she believes it, but saying the words out loud makes them feel possible. After bathing Luna and settling her to sleep in a nest of pillows on the massive bed, Maya stands under the shower for 20 minutes. Hot water beats against her skin, washing away weeks of accumulated fear and grime. She uses products that smell like expensive things, jasmine, sandalwood, something she can't identify but knows costs more than her weekly grocery budget used to. When she finally emerges wrapped in a hotel robe, so soft it feels like wearing clouds, she finds the bedroom transformed. Shopping bags cover every surface, their designer logos making her stomach clench with anxiety about costs she'll never be able to repay. There's a knock at the door, gentle enough not to wake Luna. Come in, Maya calls, tightening the robe's belt. Dante enters carrying a tray of food that makes her mouth water instantly. You haven't eaten, he says, setting it on the bedside table. I ordered basics. If you want something else. This is perfect. Maya stares at the grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, and fresh bread like they're treasures. Thank you. He gestures toward the shopping bags. Gabriella had everything delivered. Clothes for you and Luna, toiletries, diapers, formula in case you need it, and some other essentials. If anything doesn't fit, or you need something different, just call the front desk. Maya picks up a tiny onesie, examining the soft organic cotton, the delicate stitching. How much did all this cost? It doesn't matter. It matters to me. I don't have any way to pay you back. Dante studies her for a long moment. I'm not keeping a ledger, Maya. This isn't a loan with terms and interest. Then what is it? I don't know yet. His honesty catches her off guard. But right now you're exhausted. Your daughter is finally sleeping somewhere safe, and you have food that isn't from a gas station or a dumpster. Can you just accept that for tonight? Maya's throat tightens. She nods, not trusting her voice. Eat. Rest. Tomorrow we'll figure out the next steps. Dante moves toward the door, then pauses. There's a phone on the nightstand. Press 1 if you need anything. Marco is stationed outside the suite, and building security knows to alert me immediately if anyone asks about you. You think Derek will find me? I think men like him are predictable. He'll check hospitals, shelters, anywhere you might take a sick baby. But he won't think to look here, and even if he did, he'd never get past the lobby. The certainty in Dante's voice should reassure her. Instead, it reminds Maya how little she knows about the man who's inserted himself into her life. A man powerful enough to make child services workers disappear with a phone call. A man who owns hotels and commands security teams. A man who admitted he's probably bad by most standards. Dante, she says as he reaches the door. What do you want from me? Really? He turns, and something in his expression makes her pulse quicken. Not fear exactly, but awareness of standing in a hotel robe before a man who could take anything he wanted without asking. I want you to eat your dinner and go to sleep without nightmares, he says quietly. That's all I want tonight. He leaves before she can respond, the door clicking shut with finality. Maya eats mechanically, her body grateful for the food, even as her mind races with questions. She checks on Luna 3 times while eating, reassuring herself that her daughter is real, safe, still breathing in this surreal sanctuary. After finishing the meal, Maya unpacks some of the shopping bags. Everything is high quality, carefully selected, soft pajamas in her exact size, comfortable clothes that look expensive but not flashy, nursing bras that actually fit properly. Someone put thought into this, understanding what a new mother would need. She dresses in silk pajamas that feel sinful against her clean skin, then carefully moves Luna to the center of the bed, surrounding her with pillows. Maya lies down beside her daughter, staring at the ceiling, waiting for the panic to hit. But it doesn't come. For the first time in 3 weeks, Maya falls asleep within minutes, her body surrendering to exhaustion now that fear has temporarily released its grip. She doesn't hear Dante return an hour later to check on them, or see the way his expression softens when he looks at the young mother and baby sleeping peacefully in the bed that's usually occupied by business associates or women who understand exactly what he is. He doesn't understand what he's doing. Doesn't understand why watching them sleep makes something in his chest ache with unfamiliar tenderness. But he posts 2 additional guards in the hallway anyway, just to be sure. Maya wakes to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows and Luna's hungry cries. For a disorienting moment, she doesn't remember where she is. Then reality crashes back, the hospital parking lot, Dante Castellano, the impossible rescue. She feeds Luna while watching Chicago wake up below them, the city stretching out in every direction. From this height, the problems that seemed insurmountable yesterday look small, manageable, like maybe there's a way through after all. There's another knock at the door, different from last night. Softer, feminine. Come in, Maya calls, making sure she's covered. A woman in her 60s enters, her silver hair perfectly styled, her tailored suit screaming competence. Good morning. I'm Gabriela Torres, the hotel's general manager. Mr. Castellano asked me to check if you need anything. We're fine, thank you. Everything is. Maya gestures helplessly at the luxury surrounding her. Everything is more than I could have imagined. Gabriela's smile is warm, genuine. I've worked for Mr. Castellano for 15 years. I've never seen him bring anyone here. Especially not. She stops herself, choosing words carefully. You must be very important to him. I'm not. We only met yesterday. Something shifts in Gabriela's expression, curiosity mixed with concern. May I speak frankly? Maya nods. Mr. Castellano is a complicated man. He's generous to people he cares about, but he's also dangerous in ways most people don't understand. If you're here because you're running from something, this is probably the safest place in Chicago. But you should know what kind of protection you're accepting. He told me he's a criminal, Maya says quietly. He was honest about that. Honesty from Dante Castellano is rare. Gabriela moves to the window, looking out at the city. I grew up in these streets, same neighborhood he did. I watched him build his empire from nothing. He's done terrible things, made choices that destroyed lives. But I've also seen him protect the people he considers his. I'm not his. I'm just someone he decided to protect. That makes you his, whether you accept it or not. Gabriella turns back to face Maya. I'm telling you this, so you understand the reality. Whatever he offers, whatever safety he provides, it comes with complications you might not be ready for. Maya looks down at Luna, who's fallen asleep nursing, her tiny face peaceful. 3 days ago, I was sleeping in my car with my daughter. Yesterday, men were trying to take her away from me. Right now, she's safe, fed and warm. I'll deal with complications when they come. That's probably the smartest approach. Gabriella's smile returns. Mr. Castellano arranged for breakfast to be brought up at 9. He'll join you, along with his attorney. They have paperwork to discuss regarding your situation. After Gabriella leaves, Maya dresses carefully in clothes that fit perfectly, styles her hair with products she could never afford, and tries to look like someone who belongs in a penthouse instead of someone playing dress-up in borrowed luxury. Dante arrives at precisely 9 o'clock, accompanied by a distinguished man in his 50s carrying a leather briefcase. Maya, this is Richard Whitmore. He's one of the best family law attorneys in Illinois. Richard extends his hand, his grip firm but not aggressive. Miss Santos, I understand you're facing a custody challenge from the state. They want to take my daughter. Maya's voice is steady despite the fear the words trigger. They say I'm unfit because I'm homeless. Well, that's no longer accurate. Richard pulls documents from his briefcase. As of this morning, you are employed as a consultant for Castellano Holdings, with an annual salary of $120,000. Your position includes full benefits, health insurance for you and your daughter, and flexible scheduling that accommodates childcare needs. Maya stares at the contract he's sliding across the table. I don't understand. I'm not qualified to consult on anything. You're qualified to exist and need employment, Dante says bluntly. The specifics don't matter. What matters is creating a paper trail that satisfies child services. But this is fraud. They'll see through it. Richard shakes his head. It's not fraud. You'll actually be employed. Whether you perform substantive work is between you and your employer. Many consulting positions are largely advisory and flexible. This one happens to be extremely so. Additionally, Richard continues, Mr. Castellano has arranged for you to lease a 2-bedroom apartment in Lincoln Park. It's in a secure building, fully furnished, ready for immediate occupancy. The lease is in your name, paid 1 year in advance. Maya's head spins. An apartment in Lincoln Park? Do you know how expensive? I own the building, Dante interrupts. The rent is whatever I say it is. This is too much. It's too fast. Yesterday you were being threatened by a broken system designed to punish poverty. Dante leans forward, his intensity pinning her in place. Today you have the resources to fight back. Are you going to argue about ethics while your daughter's future hangs in the balance? The bluntness should offend her. Instead, it cuts through Maya's panic with brutal clarity. He's right. Derek and Child Services didn't fight fair. Why should she? What do I have to do? She asks quietly. Sign the employment contract. Move into the apartment. When Child Services contacts you for their follow-up evaluation, you'll have stable housing, legitimate employment, and character references from people they won't dare question. Richard slides more papers toward her. I've also filed a restraining order against Derek Santos. Once served, he won't be able to come within 500 feet of you or Luna. He'll violate it. He doesn't care about court orders. Then he'll be arrested. Dante's voice carries absolute certainty. And if the police are slow to respond, my people won't be. Maya looks between them, these 2 men in expensive suits who've appeared like guardian angels with solutions wrapped in legal documents and barely veiled threats. Why are you doing this? Both of you. You don't know me. Richard glances at Dante before answering. Mr. Castellano pays me very well to handle his legal matters. This falls under that umbrella. And you? Maya asks Dante directly. I told you yesterday. I don't have a good answer yet. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. Maya signs the papers, her hand shaking slightly as she commits to accepting help that feels too substantial to be real. But Luna is sleeping peacefully in the bedroom, safe and fed, and Maya would sign anything accept help from anyone, to keep that peace intact. After Richard leaves, promising to have all documentation filed within 24 hours, Maya and Dante sit across from each other at the dining table. Breakfast has arrived: eggs Benedict, fresh fruit, pastries that smell like heaven, but Maya can't eat. "What happens now?" she asks. "Now you move into your apartment. You establish your routine. When child services comes for their evaluation, you show them a stable life. And after that, when they close the case and leave me alone, do I keep this fake job and impossibly cheap apartment forever?" Dante considers her question seriously. That depends on several factors. Whether Derek remains a threat. Whether you decide you want to stay in Chicago. Whether, he stops, leaving the sentence unfinished. Whether what? Whether you can tolerate being in my orbit. He meets her eyes directly. "I'm not a good man, Maya. The things I do, the business I run, the people I associate with, it's not a world you want to be part of. But I'm already part of it. The moment you stepped in yesterday, you made me part of it. You can walk away anytime. The job, the apartment, the legal protection, it's all yours regardless. I'm not holding you hostage." Maya laughs, but there's no humor in it. "Aren't you, though? You've given me everything I desperately needed, things I could never afford or achieve on my own. How is that not a different kind of cage?" The observation hits Dante harder than he expects. She's right. He's recreated the exact dynamic he hates: power imbalance, dependency, control dressed up as generosity. "What do you want me to do?" he asks quietly. "Withdraw the help? Send you back to?" "No." Maya's voice is fierce. "I want you to be honest with me about what this is. Are you my employer? My benefactor? She struggles for the right word, aware that every option carries implications she's not ready to examine. "I don't know what I am to you," Dante admits. "But I know what you are to me." "What's that?" "The first person in 20 years who made me question whether I've wasted my life building the wrong things." The admission hangs between them, too raw to be dismissed, too honest to be ignored. Maya breaks the silence first. "I should go see the apartment. Get Luna settled somewhere that's actually ours. Marco will drive you. I've had the building manager stock the refrigerator and set up the nursery. If you need anything adjusted, Dante." Maya stands, moves closer to where he sits. "Thank you for all of this. I don't understand your reasons, and maybe I don't need to. But thank you for seeing us when everyone else looked away." She kisses his cheek, a brief press of lips against skin that shouldn't feel like an earthquake but does. Then she retreats to the bedroom to gather Luna and the supplies that have appeared as if by magic. Dante sits perfectly still, one hand unconsciously touching the spot where her lips brushed his face, trying to remember the last time someone touched him with simple gratitude instead of fear or calculation. He can't. The apartment in Lincoln Park is everything Maya dreamed of during long nights sleeping in her car. 2 bedrooms, hardwood floors, large windows that let in natural light. The nursery is fully equipped: crib, changing table, rocking chair, drawers full of baby clothes in various sizes. The kitchen is stocked with groceries, real food that doesn't come in packages or cans. The bathroom has a tub deep enough for proper baths, shelves full of toiletries, soft towels that smell like fabric softener. It's a home, a real home. Maya stands in the living room holding Luna, slowly turning to take it all in, waiting for someone to tell her it's a mistake, that she doesn't belong here. But the only other person present is Marco, Dante's driver and apparent bodyguard, who's been nothing but professionally courteous. "Mr. Castellano wanted me to show you the security features," Marco says, gesturing toward the door. "Double deadbolts, reinforced frame, camera in the hallway that feeds directly to our security office. Windows are bulletproof glass." "Bulletproof?" Maya's voice cracks slightly. "Standard in all Mr. Castellano's properties," Marco says, as if bulletproof windows are as ordinary as carpet. "The building has controlled access. You need a key card to enter, and the front desk monitors all visitors. We've flagged Derek Santos's photo in the system. If he approaches within a block, security will be notified immediately." The thoroughness should reassure Maya. Instead, it reminds her that Dante expects Derek to find her eventually. He's not hoping for the best. He's preparing for the worst. Is Mr. Castellano always this? Maya searches for the right word. Thorough. Marco's expression softens slightly. Mr. Castellano takes care of his people. Once you're his, you stay his. That's just how he operates. But I'm not his people. I met him yesterday. Ma'am, with respect, you became his people the moment he stepped between you and those child services workers. Marco checks his watch. I'll be downstairs if you need anything. There's a phone list on the refrigerator, building maintenance, security, Mr. Castellano's direct line. Don't hesitate to call. After Marco leaves, Maya explores her new home slowly, opening cabinets, running her hands along countertops, testing the reality of it all. In the nursery, she lays Luna in the crib, watching her daughter sleep in a space designed specifically for her comfort and safety. For the first time in months, Maya allows herself to cry properly. Not the panicked tears of yesterday or the exhausted sobs of the past 3 weeks, but deep, cleansing tears that wash away some of the accumulated trauma. She's safe. Luna is safe. They have a home. The cost of that safety remains unclear, but right now, Maya is too grateful to care. 3 days pass in a strange bubble of domestic tranquility. Maya settles into the apartment, establishing routines that feel almost normal. She wakes with Luna, feeds her, bathes her, reads to her from books she finds stocked on the nursery shelves. She cooks real meals in her own kitchen, takes long showers without timing herself, sleeps in a bed without fear. Dante doesn't visit. He calls once each evening, brief check-ins that last less than 5 minutes. Do you have everything you need? Is Luna well? Has anyone bothered you? The conversations are practical, businesslike, nothing personal. Maya tells herself she's relieved. Getting attached to a man who admits he's dangerous would be stupid. She needs to maintain boundaries. Remember that this is a temporary arrangement born of crisis, not the foundation for anything real. But she finds herself listening for his calls, disappointed when they're shorter than the night before, wondering what he's doing when he's not checking on her welfare. On the 4th day, Child Services arrives for their follow-up evaluation. Maya has been preparing obsessively, the apartment spotless, Luna bathed and dressed in new clothes, documentation organized in folders like she's defending a dissertation. When the knock comes, her heart hammers, so hard she feels dizzy. But it's not the same 2 men from the hospital parking lot. This caseworker is a woman in her 40s with kind eyes and sensible shoes. Miss Santos, I'm Jennifer Chun from Child Protective Services. May I come in? Maya leads her through the apartment, watching Jennifer's expression carefully. The caseworker takes notes, asks questions about Maya's employment, examines Luna with gentle competence. Your situation has improved considerably since our last contact, Jennifer observes, not accusatory, just factual. I was very fortunate, Maya says carefully. I found employment that provides good benefits and housing assistance. Castellano Holdings. Jennifer's pen pauses on her notepad. That's quite a prestigious company to work for. I'm still learning the position, Maya says truthfully. But they've been very supportive about my needs as a new mother. Jennifer spends 40 minutes examining every aspect of Maya's life. Luna's health records, the stocked refrigerator, the safe sleep environment, Maya's employment contract, and pay stubs that Richard delivered 2 days ago. Finally, she closes her notebook. Miss Santos, based on what I've observed today, I see no reason for continued state intervention. You clearly have the resources and capability to provide appropriate care for your daughter. Relief floods through Maya so intensely she has to sit down. Really? Really? I'll file my report recommending case closure. You should receive official notification within a week. Jennifer's expression softens. I'm glad things turned around for you. Many young mothers in your situation don't find their way to stability. After Jennifer leaves, Maya sits on the couch holding Luna, letting the victory sink in. She's done it. Kept her daughter. Proved she's fit despite everything Derek did to destroy her credibility. She reaches for her phone, Dante's number already pulled up, then hesitates. Does she call him? Thank him. This is his victory as much as hers, his money, his influence, his attorney making it possible. Before she can decide, her phone rings. Dante. How did it go? He asks without preamble. She's recommending case closure. We're safe. Good. There's genuine satisfaction in his voice. You should celebrate. Take Luna somewhere nice. Buy yourself something. You've earned it. Dante, I can't thank you enough. You don't owe me thanks, Maya. You owe me nothing. The way he says it, absolute and final, makes Maya's chest tighten. Can I at least buy you dinner? As a thank you? Silence stretches across the line. Maya immediately regrets the offer, opening her mouth to withdraw it, when Dante speaks. Tomorrow night. I'll pick you up at 7. He hangs up before she can respond, leaving Maya staring at her phone, wondering what she's just set in motion. Maya spends the entire next day in a state of nervous energy that has nothing to do with Luna's welfare and everything to do with the approaching dinner. She tells herself it's not a date, just a thank-you meal between two people who've been thrown together by circumstance. But she tries on 4 different outfits from the clothes Dante bought her, settling on a simple black dress that looks elegant without being too formal. She borrows makeup from supplies she found in the bathroom, hoping she remembers how to apply it properly after weeks of not caring about her appearance. Gabriella arrives at 6:30 to watch Luna, appearing at Maya's door with a warm smile and a diaper bag full of supplies. You didn't have to do this, Maya says, grateful but embarrassed. I could have found a babysitter. Mr. Castellano asked me personally, Gabriella interrupts. Besides, I raised 3 children. 1 infant for a few hours is practically a vacation. At exactly 7 o'clock, there's a knock. Maya opens the door to find Dante in a dark suit that probably costs more than most people's cars. He looks dangerous and beautiful in equal measure, all sharp edges and controlled power. You look beautiful, he says simply. Thank you. You look. Maya trails off, unsure how to compliment a man who always looks impeccable. Ready. His smile is brief but genuine. Shall we? The restaurant is the kind of place Maya has only seen in movies. Dim lighting, white tablecloths, waitstaff who move like dancers. The maitre d' greets Dante by name, leading them to a private table in an alcove that offers both intimacy and a clear view of the entire room. Maya notices Dante positioning himself so his back isn't to the entrance. Old habits from a life she's only glimpsed in fragments. Do you ever relax? She asks after they've ordered. Relaxation is a luxury I can't afford. Even now. Even here. Dante considers the question seriously. Especially here. Restaurants are where deals get made and betrayals get planned. I've conducted both in places just like this. That sounds exhausting. It is. He takes a sip of wine, then sets the glass down carefully. Tell me about before. Before Derek, before Luna. Who was Maya Santos when she got to choose her own life? The question catches her off guard. Nobody has asked about her dreams in so long she's almost forgotten she used to have them. I was studying psychology at DePaul. Maya says slowly, the memory's painful but also precious. I wanted to work with trauma survivors, help people who'd been through terrible things find their way back to themselves. Why psychology? My mother struggled with depression my entire childhood. I watched her fight battles nobody else could see, and I wanted to understand that. To help people like her. Maya's voice softens. She died when I was 19. Suicide. I found her. Dante's expression doesn't change, but something in his eyes deepens. I'm sorry. After that, I threw myself into my studies even harder. It felt like the only way to make her suffering mean something, to use what I learned watching her struggle to help others. Maya realizes she's gripping her wine glass too tightly and forces herself to relax. Then I met Derek. He seemed safe, stable, everything I needed after the chaos of losing my mother. By the time I saw who he really was, I was already trapped. And the pregnancy was my escape plan disguised as a mistake. Maya meets Dante's eyes directly. I know that sounds terrible, but it's true. I knew having his baby would give me leverage to leave, force the issue. I just didn't anticipate how hard he'd fight to destroy me for choosing her over him. Dante absorbs this information without judgment. You used your own child as a weapon against your abuser. That takes a particular kind of courage. Or desperation. They're often the same thing. Their food arrives, beautifully plated dishes that taste like art. Maya tries to eat properly, use the right fork, not embarrass herself in this place where she clearly doesn't belong. But Dante seems unconcerned with etiquette, eating efficiently while maintaining his vigilant scan of the room. Tell me about your empire, Maya says between bites. What exactly does Castellano Holdings do? Legally or actually? Both. Dante's smile is sharp. Legally, I own restaurants, nightclubs, real estate development companies, and consulting firms. Actually, I provide protection services, facilitate transactions that operate outside traditional markets, and resolve disputes through methods the legal system can't employ. You're talking about the Mafia. That word carries connotations I find limiting. I prefer to think of it as an alternative governance structure for people the system has failed. Maya considers this. So you're like Robin Hood? Stealing from the rich to help the poor? No, I'm nothing like Robin Hood. Dante leans back, studying her. I steal from everyone and keep most of it for myself. But I also protect my people, enforce contracts when courts won't, provide justice when the legal system fails. It's not altruistic. It's transactional. Except with me. You didn't ask for anything in return. Not yet. The two words hang between them, heavy with implication. Maya should feel threatened, should demand to know what price he'll eventually extract. But instead she feels curiosity about what kind of payment a man like Dante Castellano might require. What could I possibly give you that you can't take, or buy for yourself? She asks quietly. Dante is quiet for so long Maya thinks he won't answer. When he finally speaks, his voice is lower, almost vulnerable. You could let me pretend, for a little while, that I'm the kind of man who deserves to sit across from someone like you. The confession hits Maya in the chest. Here is a man who controls half of Chicago's underworld, who makes politicians and criminals alike nervous, admitting that what he wants most is to feel worthy of a broke single mother's company. Dante. Her phone rings, shattering the moment. She glances at the screen, sees Gabriella's name, and her stomach drops. I'm sorry, I have to. Answer it. Dante says immediately, his entire demeanor shifting to alert. Maya accepts the call. Gabriella? Is Luna okay? Luna's fine, Gabriella says quickly. But there's a man outside the building claiming to be Luna's father. He's demanding to see you. Security won't let him up, but he's getting aggressive. I thought you should know. Derek. He found her. Maya's hand shakes so violently she nearly drops the phone. Tell security to call the police. There's a restraining order, already done. But Maya, he knows which apartment you're in. He's shouting the number. Someone must have told him. Dante is already on his feet, phone to his ear, speaking in rapid Italian to someone on the other end. He drops bills on the table without counting them, his hand on Maya's back, guiding her toward the exit. We're coming, Maya tells Gabriella. Don't let him anywhere near Luna. Don't open the door for anyone except the police or Dante. In the car, Marco drives with controlled urgency, while Dante makes call after call, mobilizing resources Maya doesn't understand. She catches fragments, containment, message, permanent solution, that make her stomach turn. Don't hurt him, she says suddenly. Dante turns to look at her. Why not? Because he's Luna's biological father. Because violence will just prove I'm exactly what he claims, connected to dangerous people, unfit to raise a child. He's terrorizing you, threatening your daughter. He deserves. I don't care what he deserves. Maya's voice is fierce. I care about protecting Luna's future. If you hurt him, it becomes a story about the criminal who's controlling me. It proves everything he's been saying about me being unstable and dangerous. Dante processes this, his jaw tight. Finally, he nods. We'll handle it legally. But Maya, understand this. If he touches you, if he gets within 10 feet of Luna, my restraint ends. Are we clear? Clear. They pull up to Maya's building to find 3 police cars, lights flashing, and a crowd of curious onlookers. Derek is being held against a squad car by 2 officers, his face twisted with rage. When he sees Maya emerge from Dante's Mercedes, his expression transforms into something uglier. There she is. Derek shouts. That's my daughter's mother. She's keeping my child from me. Mr. Santos, you need to calm down. One of the officers says firmly. There's a restraining order. That restraining order is bullshit. Based on lies fed to her by that criminal. Derek's eyes lock on Dante with pure hatred. Dante Castellano. You think I don't know who you are? You think I don't know what you do? Dante doesn't respond, his expression neutral, but Maya feels the tension radiating from his body. A detective approaches them, notepad ready. Miss Santos, I'm Detective Morrison. Your building manager called about a restraining order violation. Maya explains the situation while Derek continues shouting in the background, creating a scene that draws more attention with every passing second. She's aware of phones recording, neighbors watching, the whole disaster playing out like Derek's ultimate manipulation, making her look connected to criminals, making Dante look like a violent thug. I want him arrested, Maya says firmly. He violated a court order. He's terrorizing me and my daughter. We'll take him in, Detective Morrison assures her. But Miss Santos, I need to ask, what's your relationship with Mr. Castellano? The question is pointed, professional, but Maya hears the subtext. They're investigating whether Dante's involvement constitutes its own form of danger. He's my employer, Maya says clearly. He offered me a job when I was homeless and desperate. He helped me establish stability so I could keep my daughter. That's all. That's all. Derek's voice cuts through everything. She's living in his building, driving in his cars. He owns her now, don't you see? This is what he does. Finds vulnerable women, and enough. Dante's voice isn't loud, but it cuts through Derek's rant like a blade. You violated a restraining order. You've made threats. You've disturbed the peace. Keep talking, and you'll add more charges to the list. Derek lunges toward them, but the officers restrain him quickly. This isn't over, he screams as they force him into the back of the squad car. I'll prove she's unfit. I'll prove you're controlling her. The car door slams, cutting off his threats. Maya realizes she's shaking. Dante's hand finds the small of her back, steady and warm. Let's get you upstairs, he says quietly. Detective Morrison stops them. Miss Santos, I'll need a full statement. And Mr. Castellano, I'd like to ask you some questions as well. My attorney will be in touch tomorrow, Dante says smoothly. Tonight, Miss Santos needs to check on her infant daughter who's been traumatized by her abusive ex-partner's behavior. It's not really a question, but Detective Morrison nods anyway. They exchange business cards, professional courtesies masking the underlying tension. Upstairs, Gabriella has Luna swaddled and calm, but Maya can see the stress in the older woman's face. I'm so sorry, Gabriella says. He must have followed you, or it's not your fault. Maya takes Luna, holds her close, breathes in her baby scent. Thank you for keeping her safe. After Gabriella leaves, Maya and Dante stand in the living room, the adrenaline slowly draining away, leaving exhaustion in its wake. This is my fault, Dante says quietly. He found you because of me, because I made you visible. He would have found me eventually, anyway. Derek always does. Maya sits on the couch, still holding Luna. But now I have resources to fight back. That's because of you, too. Dante moves to the window, staring out at the city. He's right, you know. What he said about me. I do find vulnerable people and use them for my own purposes. That's exactly what I did with you. Is it? Maya asks. Because from where I'm sitting, you found someone in trouble and helped them without asking for anything in return. That's not using someone. That's just being decent. I'm not decent, Maya. Don't make that mistake. Then why did you stop? Why help me at all if you're so terrible? He turns from the window, and the expression on his face makes Maya's breath catch. Because watching you beg for your daughter's safety while having nothing to offer but love made me realize I've spent my entire life accumulating power I don't know how to use for anything good. The confession hangs in the air between them. Luna chooses that moment to start fussing, and Maya tends to her automatically, changing her diaper, settling her for sleep. When she returns to the living room, Dante is still standing by the window, looking like he's carved from stone. You should go, Maya says softly. It's late, and tomorrow is going to be complicated with the police, and I'm staying. Dante, Derek knows where you live. He violated one restraining order. He'll violate another. I'm not leaving you and Luna alone tonight. His tone brooks no argument. I'll sleep on the couch. You won't even know I'm here. Maya should protest, should maintain boundaries, should remember that letting this dangerous man deeper into her life is asking for complications she can't handle. But the thought of Derek out there, angry and humiliated, planning his next move, makes fear crawl up her spine. "Okay," she whispers. "Thank you." She brings him a pillow and blanket, sets them on the couch with awkward formality. Their hands brush during the exchange, and Maya feels electricity shoot through her entire body. "Good night, Dante." "Good night, Maya." She retreats to her bedroom, closes the door, and leans against it with her eyes closed. Outside, sitting on her couch, is a man who admits he's dangerous, who's probably killed people, who operates outside every law she's been taught to respect. Inside her chest, her heart is racing for reasons that have nothing to do with fear. Maya wakes at 3 a.m. to Luna's crying and the sound of Dante's voice, low and soothing, coming from the living room. She emerges from her bedroom to find him holding Luna against his chest, one large hand supporting her tiny head, the other gently patting her back. He's still fully dressed except for his jacket, moving in a slow rhythm that seems instinctive. "She was fussing," he says without looking up. "I didn't want her to wake you." Maya should take her daughter back, should reclaim this intimate moment of motherhood. But watching Dante, this dangerous man who controls an empire built on violence, tenderly comforting a 3-week-old baby, does something to her chest that feels like breaking and healing simultaneously. "You're good with her," Maya says softly. "I had a daughter once." The words come out flat, factual, like he's reporting someone else's tragedy. "A long time ago." Maya's breath catches. "What happened?" "Her mother took her to Italy when she was 2. Wanted to raise her away from my life, away from what I am. I agreed because it was the right thing to do." Dante finally looks up, and the pain in his eyes is so raw Maya has to look away. "She's 17 now. I get a photo every year on her birthday. She doesn't know I exist." "Dante, I'm so sorry." "Don't be. It was my choice. I chose my empire over my family, and I've lived with that decision for 15 years. He looks back down at Luna, who stopped crying and is staring up at him with wide, trusting eyes. "But holding Luna makes me remember what I gave up, what I'll never get back." Maya moves closer, close enough to see the way his jaw tightens against emotion, the way his fingers curl protectively around Luna's small body. "You could reach out," Maya suggests quietly. "She's almost an adult. Maybe she'd want to know you." "I'm a criminal, Maya. My world is violence and corruption. What kind of father would drag his daughter into that? What kind of man would risk exposing her to the enemies I've made, the danger that follows me everywhere?" He shakes his head. "Her mother was right to take her away. I was right to let her go. But you weren't right to punish yourself for 15 years. Dante's smile is bitter. "Punishment is the least of what I deserve." Luna starts fussing again, and Maya takes her, their hands brushing during the transfer. The contact sends heat through Maya's entire body, awareness of how close they're standing, how intimate this moment feels despite the careful distance they've maintained. She feeds Luna, while Dante returns to the window, his habitual position, always watching for threats that might emerge from the darkness. "Derek won't give up," Maya says, breaking the silence. "Tonight was just the beginning. He'll find other ways to come after me, to prove I'm unfit, to make my life hell until I either go back to him or lose Luna completely." "I know. So what do we do?" Dante turns from the window. "We make him more afraid of me than he is obsessed with you." The cold certainty in his voice should frighten Maya. Instead, it feels like relief. She spent months trying to handle Derek through legal channels, through appeasement, through making herself small and invisible. None of it worked. Maybe it's time to fight fire with something hotter. "How?" she asks. "By making it clear that hurting you means declaring war on me. And nobody in Chicago is stupid enough to do that." Dante pulls out his phone, types something quickly. "Tomorrow, you and Luna are moving." "Moving where?" "I just settled into this apartment, my estate. North Shore, 20 acres, security that makes Fort Knox look casual. Derek can't get within a mile without being detected and detained." Maya's stomach drops. "Dante, that's too much." "That's non-negotiable." His voice is steel-wrapped in silk. "Derek escalated tonight. He showed he's willing to make scenes, violate court orders, risk arrest to get to you. Next time it won't be a public confrontation. It'll be a broken window at 3 a.m., or following you to the grocery store, or something worse. But moving into your house, people will talk. Child services will investigate. Derek will use it as proof that I'm your. She can't finish the sentence. Can't voice what people will assume. Mistress? Possession? Captive? Dante supplies the words clinically. Let them assume whatever they want. Your safety and Luna's safety matter more than reputation. Easy for you to say. Your reputation is already criminal. Mine is the only thing standing between me and losing my daughter. The truth of that statement hangs heavy between them. Maya's credibility as a mother depends on appearing stable, independent, morally upstanding. Moving into a known criminal's estate would destroy all three. Then we make it legal, Dante says after a long pause. We get married. Maya laughs, the sound sharp and slightly hysterical. Did you just propose marriage as a security solution? I'm proposing marriage as a legal framework that protects you and Luna while giving you the resources to fight Derek on equal footing. Dante's expression is serious, no hint of romance or sentiment. You'd be my wife. Luna would be legally under my protection. Derek would need to go through me to get to either of you, and trust me, he's not brave enough for that. This is insane. People don't get married to solve custody disputes. People get married for all kinds of reasons. Love is just one of them, and historically not even the most common. Dante moves closer, his presence overwhelming in the small living room. Think about it practically, Maya. As my wife, you'd have unlimited legal resources, complete financial security, and protection from anyone who tries to harm you or Luna. Derek couldn't touch you. And what would you get out of this arrangement? The question seems to catch Dante off guard. He's quiet for so long Maya thinks he won't answer. A chance to be the man I should have been for my own daughter, he says finally. A chance to protect someone who deserves it instead of people who don't. A chance to feel like my power serves a purpose beyond accumulating more power. It's the most honest thing he's said, vulnerable in a way that makes Maya's heart ache. This is crazy, she whispers. Probably. But is it any crazier than what you're already doing? Accepting help from a stranger, living in my building, working for my company? Dante's eyes hold hers. We're already halfway to this arrangement, Maya. I'm just suggesting we make it official. Luna has fallen asleep in Maya's arms, oblivious to the life-altering conversation happening around her. Maya looks down at her daughter's peaceful face and thinks about everything that could go wrong. The scandal, the judgment, the complications of legally binding herself to a man she barely knows. Then she thinks about Derek's rage-twisted face tonight, the terror of watching him try to force his way to her apartment, the bone-deep fear that next time he won't be stopped by police and restraining orders. I need time to think, Maya says finally. You have until morning. Derek won't wait, and neither can we. Maya doesn't sleep. She lies in bed staring at the ceiling while Luna sleeps peacefully beside her, weighing the impossible choice Dante has laid at her feet. Marriage to a criminal. Legal protection wrapped in moral compromise. Safety purchased with her independence. But is it really independence she'd be giving up? Right now, she's dependent on Dante's charity, living in his building, working his fake job, protected by his influence. Marriage would just make official what's already true. At least as his wife, she'd have legal standing. Rights. A framework that society recognizes instead of the murky arrangement they currently exist in. As dawn breaks over Chicago, Maya makes her decision. She finds Dante exactly where she left him, standing at the window, watching the city wake up. He looks tired but alert, like he hasn't slept either. Okay, Maya says. I'll marry you. Dante turns, searches her face. You're sure? No. But I'm more sure of this than I am of my ability to protect Luna any other way. Maya sets her shoulders, trying to project confidence she doesn't feel. But I have conditions. Name them. This is a business arrangement. We're clear about that from the start. Separate bedrooms, separate lives as much as possible. We're partners in protecting Luna, nothing more. Agreed. When Derek is no longer a threat, when Luna is safe and we've established long-term custody, we revisit the arrangement. If either of us wants out, we end it cleanly. No drama, no revenge, just a civilized dissolution. Agreed. And most importantly, you don't lie to me. Ever. About your business, about danger, about anything that could affect Luna's safety. I need to be able to trust that you'll tell me the truth even when it's ugly. Dante considers this final condition carefully. That one is harder to promise. My business involves things you're better off not knowing. Information that could put you in danger if you have it. Then put me in danger, Maya says fiercely. I'm tired of being protected through ignorance. I'm tired of being kept in the dark while men make decisions about my life. If I'm going to be your wife, even in name only, I need to be treated like a partner who can handle truth. Something shifts in Dante's expression. Respect, maybe, or recognition of strength he hadn't fully acknowledged before. All right, he says finally. No lies, even when the truth is dangerous. Then we have a deal. Dante extends his hand, and Maya shakes it, sealing an agreement that's more binding than any wedding vows they'll eventually speak in front of witnesses. I'll have Richard draw up a prenuptial agreement, Dante says, releasing her hand. You'll want everything in writing, financial arrangements, custody rights for Luna, exit terms. You're very practical about this. Marriage is a contract. We should treat it like one. He pulls out his phone, already making calls. We'll do the civil ceremony tomorrow. Small, private, just witnesses. Then we move you and Luna to the estate. Tomorrow! Maya's voice cracks. That's really fast. Derek is already making his next move. We need to be 3 steps ahead. Dante's voice softens slightly. But if you need more time, no. Maya squares her shoulders. You're right. Fast is better. Before I lose my nerve. Before she can second-guess the decision that will change everything. See, the civil ceremony happens in a judge's chambers with only Richard and Gabriella as witnesses. Maya wears a simple white dress purchased that morning, holds Luna in one arm while signing documents with the other. Dante stands beside her in a dark suit, his expression unreadable as he slides a platinum wedding band onto her finger. The whole thing takes less than 15 minutes. You may kiss the bride, the judge says with professional warmth. Dante and Maya look at each other, both clearly having forgotten this part. He leans in slowly, giving her time to pull away, and presses his lips to hers in a kiss that's supposed to be perfunctory but lasts 3 seconds too long to be purely performative. When they separate, Maya's heart is racing, and Dante's eyes have darkened in a way that makes her stomach flip. Congratulations, Richard says, breaking the tension. You're now legally married. Maya looks down at the ring on her finger, the weight of it foreign and heavy. 12 hours ago, she was a single mother living in borrowed safety. Now she's Maya Castellano, wife of Chicago's most dangerous criminal. The absurdity of it should make her laugh. Instead, it makes her want to cry. They drive to Dante's estate in silence, Luna sleeping peacefully in her car seat, oblivious to how dramatically her life has just changed. Maya watches the city give way to suburbs, then suburbs give way to sprawling properties with gates and guards. Dante's estate is breathtaking, a stone mansion set back from the road, surrounded by manicured grounds and security measures Maya can't even identify. The house itself is elegant but not ostentatious, more old money than new, designed to impress through understatement. It's beautiful, Maya says as they pull through the gates. It's secure, Dante corrects. Beauty is secondary. Staff members appear as they enter. A housekeeper, groundskeeper, security personnel. Dante introduces each one, making clear that Maya is to be obeyed and protected as if she were him. The message is received. Maya can see it in the way they look at her, reassessing the young woman with a baby, realizing she's not a temporary guest but permanent. Fixture. Her bedroom suite is on the 2nd floor, connected to a nursery that's been prepared with the same efficiency as everything else in Dante's world. It's larger than her entire previous apartment, decorated in soft colors that somehow feel both luxurious and comfortable. My room is down the hall, Dante says, maintaining careful distance. If you need anything, there's staff on call 24 hours. The kitchen is always stocked. The grounds are safe for walking, though I'd prefer you stay close to the house until we've assessed Derek's next move. Okay. Maya sets Luna's carrier down, suddenly exhausted by the whirlwind of the past 24 hours. Thank you for all this. I know it's strange to thank someone for marrying you as a security measure, but don't. Dante's voice is sharp, then softens. Don't thank me, Maya. This arrangement benefits me as much as you. Maybe more. Before she can ask what he means, Her phone rings. Unknown number. Maya's stomach drops. She looks at Dante, who's already pulling out his own phone, likely to trace the call. She answers, putting it on speaker. Hello. Congratulations on your wedding. Derek's voice drips with venom. That was fast. Almost like you've been fucking him all along. Maya's hand tightens on the phone. How did you? I have friends too, Maya. Friends who work at the courthouse, who take pictures, who keep me informed about what my child's mother is doing. His laugh is ugly. Marrying a criminal. Real classy. This is going to look great in court. There's not going to be a court, Maya says, finding strength in Dante's presence beside her. You have no legal claim to Luna. You're not on her birth certificate. You have no custody rights. I have DNA, and I have evidence that you're living with a known criminal, exposing my daughter to violence and illegal activity. No judge is going to let you keep her once I present my case. Try it. Maya's voice is steel. Try to come after us. See what happens. Is he listening right now? Your new husband? Tell him I'm not afraid of him. Tell him. Dante takes the phone from Maya's hand. This is your only warning, Derek. Stay away from my wife and daughter. If you contact Maya again, if you come near our property, if you so much as think about legal action, I will destroy you so completely that people will forget you ever existed. Tough talk from a mobster playing house. You think marriage makes her yours? She's weak. She'll always be weak. And when you get bored of her, when you realize she's not worth the trouble, I'll be waiting to pick up the pieces. The difference between us, Dante says with deadly calm, is that I know how to value what I have. You threw away the best thing that ever happened to you because you couldn't stand that she was stronger than you. Now you're going to spend the rest of your life regretting it. He ends the call, immediately handing the phone to one of his security personnel. Trace it. Find out where he was calling from. I want 24-hour surveillance on Derek Santos. Every move he makes, I want to know about it. After the security team leaves, Maya sits on the edge of the bed, trembling with adrenaline and fear. He's right about one thing, she says quietly. Marrying you does make this look bad. Like I'm exactly what he claimed, a woman who trades her body for security, who exposes her child to danger. Dante crouches in front of her, forcing her to meet his eyes. Listen to me. Derek is a parasite who survived by making you doubt your own strength. Everything he says is designed to destabilize you, to make you question your decisions. Don't let him win. But what if he's right? What if marrying you was a mistake that ends up costing me Luna? Then we'll fight, and we'll win. Because unlike Derek, who fights dirty and alone, you have resources now. You have protection. You have me. His hands frame her face gently. I will not let anyone take Luna from you. Do you understand? Not Derek, not the courts, not anyone. The absolute certainty in his voice breaks something open in Maya's chest. She starts crying, really crying, all the fear and stress and overwhelming gratitude pouring out in ugly sobs that shake her entire body. Dante pulls her against his chest, holding her while she falls apart, one hand stroking her hair, the other wrapped protectively around her back. You're safe, he murmurs against her hair. You're both safe. I promise. Maya knows she shouldn't believe promises from men, shouldn't trust declarations from someone she's known less than a week. Shouldn't allow herself to feel safe in arms that have probably killed people. But Luna is sleeping peacefully in her new nursery, and Dante's heartbeat is steady against her ear, and for the first time since her mother died, Maya feels like maybe she doesn't have to carry everything alone. The next 2 weeks establish a rhythm that feels almost normal. Maya settles into the estate, learning its rhythms and routines. Dante leaves early for business she doesn't ask about, returns for dinner unless meetings run late. They eat together, discuss Luna's development, maintain careful politeness that never quite crosses into genuine intimacy. It's functional. Safe. Exactly what they agreed to. But Maya catches herself watching him with Luna, the way he holds her confidently now, talks to her like she understands, makes ridiculous faces that pull reluctant smiles from the infant. She catches herself noticing the way he looks in casual clothes on Sunday mornings, or how his voice softens when he thinks no one is listening, or the rare moments when his guard drops and she glimpses the man he might have been in a different life. And she knows she's in trouble. You can't fall for a contract husband. Can't develop real feelings for an arrangement built on practicality. Can't start wanting more from someone who's been clear from the beginning that this is business. But her heart apparently didn't get the memo. It's a Wednesday evening when everything changes. Dante comes home 3 hours earlier than usual, his expression dark, tension radiating from every muscle. What's wrong? Maya asks immediately. Derek filed for emergency custody. Dante drops a legal document on the counter. He's claiming you're in immediate danger, that Luna is being exposed to criminal activity, that I'm controlling you through coercion and intimidation. Maya scans the document, her stomach dropping with each paragraph. Derek has been thorough, citing Dante's known criminal associations, the suspiciously quick marriage, Maya's sudden financial improvement, everything positioned to make her look like a victim or accomplice rather than a mother protecting her child. When's the hearing? She asks. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., family court downtown. Tomorrow. Maya's voice rises. There's no time to prepare, to build a defense. That's the point. Emergency hearings are designed to move fast, before the accused can cover tracks or flee. Derek's gambling that we can't mount an adequate defense on. Such short notice. Can we? Dante's smile is sharp and cold. Derek Santos has no idea who he's challenging. The next 24 hours are a blur of preparation. Richard arrives with a team of attorneys, each specializing in different aspects of family law. They drill Maya on her testimony, prepare her for hostile questions, build a narrative that positions her marriage as a protective measure rather than evidence of instability. But Maya can see the concern in Richard's eyes. This is a harder fight than the child services evaluation. Derek has lawyers now, real ones, funded by someone with deep pockets and an interest in hurting Dante. Who's paying for Derek's legal team? Maya asks during a break in preparation. Dante and Richard exchange glances. Tell me, Maya demands, remembering Dante's promise about truth. You said no lies. The Moretti family, Dante says finally, rival organization. They've been looking for leverage against me for years. Derek gave them the perfect opportunity. Maya's blood runs cold. So this isn't about Luna at all. This is about hurting you through me. Yes. And Luna is just collateral damage in your gang war. No. Dante's voice is fierce. Luna is what I'm protecting. The Morettas saw an opportunity to strike at me through you, but make no mistake. I will burn their entire organization to the ground before I let them use your daughter as a weapon. The courthouse the next day is packed with media. Someone leaked the hearing details, and now reporters crowd the steps, cameras ready to capture the Mafia boss and his suspiciously convenient bride. Maya holds Luna close as they navigate through the crowd, Dante's hand on her back, security forming a barrier against the pressing bodies and shouted questions. Inside the courtroom, Derek sits with his legal team, 3 men in expensive suits who look like they've never lost a case. They study Maya with cold calculation, already planning how to dismantle her credibility. The judge is a woman in her 60s, Judge Patricia Reeves, known for being tough but fair. She looks unimpressed by the circus her courtroom has become. This is an emergency custody hearing regarding Luna Santos, infant daughter of Maya Santos and Derek Santos. Judge Reeves says, her voice cutting through the murmuring crowd. Mr. Santos has filed for emergency custody based on allegations of endangerment and coercion. Miss Santos, I'm sorry, Mrs. Castellano, contest these allegations. The hearing begins with Derek's attorneys painting a picture of Maya as a vulnerable woman, controlled by a dangerous criminal. They present evidence of Dante's known activities, his criminal associates, the suspicious timing of the marriage. Then Derek takes the stand. He plays the concerned father perfectly, worried about his daughter, desperate to protect her from a mother who's fallen under criminal influence. He claims he tried to reconcile with Maya, tried to provide support, but she rejected him in favor of a man who offers money and danger in equal measure. It's a masterful performance. Maya watches several people in the gallery nodding along, sympathizing with the handsome young father trying to save his child. Mr. Santos, Richard begins his cross-examination. You claim you tried to provide support to Ms. Santos and your daughter. Can you detail those attempts? I offered money, tried to help her find housing, wanted to be involved in Luna's life. And when did these offers of support begin? Derek hesitates. After she left me. After she left you. Or after you were arrested for domestic violence. Objection. Derek's attorney jumps up. Those charges were dropped. Because Miss Santos was too terrified to testify, Richard counters smoothly. But the police report still exists. Would you like me to read it aloud? Judge Reeves intervenes. I'll review the police report myself. Continue, Mr. Whitmore. Richard systematically destroys Derek's narrative, presenting evidence of his harassment, the planted drugs, the systematic campaign to isolate Maya from support systems. He shows the pattern of abuse that only ended when Maya literally ran for her life. Then it's Maya's turn. She takes the stand with Luna in her arms, refusing to surrender her daughter, even for testimony. Judge Reeves allows it, perhaps understanding the symbolic importance. Derek's attorney comes at her hard, questioning her judgment, her sudden marriage, her association with known criminals. Mrs. Castellano, isn't it true that you married Mr. Castellano less than a week after meeting him? Yes. That seems impulsive for someone claiming to make decisions in their child's best interest. It was the most carefully considered decision I've ever made. Maya's voice is steady. My daughter's father had spent months destroying my life, making it impossible for me to work, to find housing, to provide basic stability. When child services threatened to take Luna, I was terrified because I had no resources to fight back. Mr. Castellano offered those resources. By making you his wife, by offering me legal protection, financial stability, and safety from the man who terrorized me for months. Maya looks directly at Derek. I married Dante because he was the first person who helped me without demanding something in return. Because he saw me and Luna in trouble and actually did something instead of just offering empty sympathy. But you understand that Mr. Castellano is involved in criminal activity. I understand that people call him a criminal. I also understand that he's shown my daughter and me more genuine care and protection than anyone else in our lives. Maya's grip on Luna tightens. Yes, his world is complicated. Yes, there are aspects of his business I don't approve of. But my daughter is safer with him than she ever was with her biological father, who beat me while I was pregnant and planted drugs to have me arrested. The courtroom erupts in whispers. Judge Reeves gavels for silence. Derek's attorney continues pushing, but Maya doesn't break. She tells her truth clearly: the abuse, the homelessness, the terror of having her daughter threatened, and the unexpected salvation offered by a man who owed her nothing. When Richard questions her, he keeps it simple. Mrs. Castellano, do you love your daughter? More than my own life. Would you do anything to protect her? Absolutely anything. Including marrying a man you barely knew if it meant keeping her safe? Yes. I'd marry anyone, make any deal, face any consequence if it meant Luna stayed with me. Maya looks at Dante, sitting in the front row, his expression carefully neutral. But I didn't have to settle for just anyone. I found someone who's proven over and over that he'll protect us. That's not coercion. That's grace. The word hangs in the air, grace. Not what anyone expected in a courtroom discussing Mafia connections and emergency custody. Judge Reeves calls a recess to review evidence and consider testimony. Maya returns to Dante's side, her whole body shaking with adrenaline. You did well, he says quietly. Did I do enough? We'll know soon. The 90-minute recess feels like 90 hours. Maya paces in a private room, feeding Luna, trying to keep calm while her entire future hangs in balance. When they're called back, Judge Reeves looks stern. I've reviewed all evidence and testimony presented today. I've also reviewed the police reports regarding Mr. Santos's history of domestic violence, the Child Protective Services evaluation that cleared Mrs. Castellano, and the circumstances surrounding this marriage. Maya holds her breath. While the relationship between Mrs. Castellano and Mr. Dante Castellano is unconventional, I see no evidence that the child is in immediate danger. Mrs. Castellano has demonstrated consistent, appropriate care for her daughter. She has stable housing, legitimate employment, and support systems in place. Derek's attorney starts to object, but Judge Reeves cuts him off. Mr. Santos, your concerns about your daughter's welfare might be more credible if you had any history of actually providing that welfare. You have no legal parental rights. You're not on the birth certificate. You have a documented history of violence toward the child's mother. Your sudden interest in custody appears to be motivated by something other than parental concern. Your Honor, I'm her father. Biologically, perhaps. Legally, no. And this court's primary concern is the child's welfare, not your wounded pride or your associate's political agendas. Judge Reeves looks directly at Derek. Emergency custody petition denied. Furthermore, the existing restraining order is extended and strengthened. Mr. Santos, you are to have no contact with Mrs. Castellano or her daughter. If you wish to establish legal parental rights, you'll need to file appropriate paperwork and prove you're fit for supervised visitation, let alone custody. The gavel comes down with finality. Maya doesn't remember standing, doesn't remember moving, but suddenly she's in Dante's arms, Luna between them, crying with relief, so profound it feels like being reborn. It's over, Dante murmurs against her hair. You won. We won, Maya corrects, looking up at him through tears. In that moment, with Luna safe and Derek defeated, and Dante holding them both like they're precious, Maya realizes the truth she's been avoiding for weeks. This stopped being a business arrangement somewhere along the way. She's fallen in love with her contract husband. The ride home is quiet, but it's a different kind of quiet than before. Maya sits beside Dante in the back of the car, Luna sleeping peacefully in her arms, and everything feels changed. Thank you, she says finally, for everything. For fighting for us, Maya. Dante's voice is rough. Can you stop thanking me? Why? Because every time you do, it reminds me that you still see this as a debt to be repaid instead of what it actually is. What is it actually? Dante turns to face her fully. It's me being selfish. It's me finding something good and pure in a life built on corruption and refusing to let it go. It's me wanting to be near you and Luna because you make me remember what it feels like to be human instead of just a weapon. Maya's heart pounds against her ribs. Dante, I know what we agreed. I know this was supposed to be practical, temporary, just a legal protection. His hand reaches out, fingers ghosting along her jawline. But somewhere between carrying your daughter at 3 a.m. and watching you fight for her in that courtroom, I forgot how to keep my distance. What are you saying? I'm saying that I want this to be real. I'm saying that I've been falling for you since the moment you donated $50 to strangers while homeless. I'm saying that the thought of you leaving when Derek is no longer a threat makes me want to burn the world down rather than let you go. Maya should be terrified, should remember that Dante is dangerous, that his world is violence, that falling for him is asking for heartbreak. But all she feels is relief that she's not alone in this terrifying freefall. I'm saying the same thing, she whispers. I'm saying that this hasn't felt like pretend for weeks. I'm saying that somewhere between you saving us and you staying on my couch and you holding Luna like she's yours, I fell completely in love with you. Dante's breath catches. Maya, I know it's crazy. I know it's fast. I know you're dangerous and complicated and probably bad for me by every conventional measure. Maya cups his face with her free hand, Luna still sleeping peacefully against her chest. But I don't care. You're all so good and protective and the first person who's ever made me feel like I don't have to carry everything alone. You deserve better than me. I deserve someone who shows up, someone who fights for me, someone who treats my daughter like she's precious. Maya's thumb brushes across his cheekbone. That's you, Dante. You're exactly what I deserve. He kisses her then, careful of Luna between them, but with an intensity that makes Maya's entire body ignite. It's nothing like their perfunctory wedding kiss. This is real, passionate, a claiming and a surrender wrapped together. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, Dante rests his forehead against hers. I've done terrible things, he says quietly. Things you don't know about, things that would horrify you if you did. My world is dangerous. There will always be people trying to hurt me by hurting the people I love. Can you live with that? Can you live with a woman who's going to challenge you, who's going to demand honesty even when it's ugly, who's going to insist that your power is used for good whenever possible? Dante's smile is genuine, reaching his eyes for maybe the first time since Maya met him. That sounds perfect. They arrive home as the sun sets, painting the estate in shades of gold and amber. Dante carries Luna inside while Maya follows, and it feels less like returning to a safe house and more like coming home. That night, after putting Luna to bed in her nursery, Maya finds Dante on the terrace overlooking the grounds. He shed his jacket and tie, looking more relaxed than she's ever seen him. "Hey," she says softly. He turns, extending his hand. She takes it, letting him pull her close. "I need to tell you something," Dante says. "About my business, about the things I've done. You said you wanted honesty." "I do." So he tells her. Not everything. Some secrets are too dark to share, but enough. The protection rackets, the legitimate businesses that fund illegal operations, the violence he's ordered, the people who've died because he commanded it. He doesn't justify or excuse, just presents the truth of who he is and what he's built. Maya listens without interrupting, processing each revelation, weighing it against the man she's come to know. "I should be horrified," she says when he finishes. "I should take Luna and run. But I've seen you with my daughter. I've seen the way you protect people who work for you, the way you shut down that trafficking operation last week when you thought I didn't know about it, the way you donated an entire building to a homeless shelter anonymously." Maya moves closer. "You're not just the terrible things you've done. You're also the good things you try to hide. The good doesn't erase the bad. No, but the bad doesn't erase the good either. You're complicated, Dante. Human. Trying to be better." She takes his face in both hands. "That's all anyone can do." He kisses her again, and this time there's no baby between them. No barriers, just two people who found each other in impossible circumstances and decided to choose love anyway. "Stay with me tonight," Dante says against her lips. "Not in the guest room. With me." "Okay." They make love slowly, carefully, learning each other's bodies with the same attention they've been learning each other's hearts. Afterward, Maya lies in Dante's arms, listening to his heartbeat, feeling safer than she's ever felt in her life. "I love you," she says into the darkness. "I love you too," Dante replies, and it's the first time he said those words in 15 years. They mean them. 6 months later, Maya sits in the garden watching Luna, now 8 months old, attempt to crawl across a blanket. Dante crouches beside their daughter, encouraging her efforts with ridiculous enthusiasm that makes Maya laugh. Derek is in prison, arrested for violating the restraining order one too many times. The Moretti family has retreated after Dante made it clear that targeting his family meant total war. Child Services closed their case permanently, satisfied that Luna is thriving. The marriage that started as a contract has become something Maya never expected. A real partnership built on trust, honesty, and love that grew from the strangest circumstances. She's going to walk before she crawls, Dante predicts, watching Luna give up on crawling and attempt to pull herself upright using his knee. Like her father, Maya teases. Too stubborn to do things the traditional way. Too smart to waste time on conventional approaches, Dante corrects with a grin. Luna babbles something that sounds almost like "dada," and Dante's entire expression transforms into pure joy. Maya watches them together, the dangerous criminal and the baby who owns his heart, and thinks about how wrong everyone was about what makes a family. It's not blood or conventional circumstances or meeting society's expectations. It's choosing each other every day. It's protecting what matters most. It's finding grace in unlikely places. She pulls out her phone, takes a picture of Dante and Luna in the afternoon sunlight, and makes a mental note to show it to him later. Evidence that sometimes the best things in life come from the worst situations. That sometimes strangers become saviors. That sometimes contract marriages become love stories. And that sometimes the most dangerous man in Chicago is exactly who you need to make you feel safe. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you love the story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.